So, this question about whether all the evil in the world will ever end and will everything be nice and peaceful ever is a very interesting question. Because when I think about it, then I'm like, can the evil ever end? And let's talk about us, like the people who want to make an impact, who want to have positive impact, to think about purpose and so on in the world. We we think that we are a positive force. This is what we mean when we talk about a society where everybody has some direction in their life, they know what to do. That's when you're happy, when you have direction. When you're lost, that's when you're sad and you're like, what to do, where do I go? You want to wake up and you want to know what you're doing, and you want to know that you have some value, you have some worth. Those people, our values and our worth, a lot of times we are just fighting against the evil. Like, we find value in fighting against the evil. But if there is no evil, then what do we fight against? And if everything in the world is just perfect, then what is our purpose? What are we trying to do? Are we trying to make a difference in the world? What difference are we even supposed to be making if everything is just good and everything is just perfect? So this is just one thing that I wanted to give you to think about, and I wanted to think about myself. Can the world be really perfect? I feel like there will always be some problem. And without problem, there is no direction, there is no movement. Because movement is what? There is a problem, you try to fix it. And then something else arises and you try to fix it. You can't just sit at home and watch TV and have fun. And there's a point where you are just having fun and you're just playing around, you're just eating good food, having fun, and it gets boring. You need challenges in life. But if everything is perfect, then where is the challenge? You know? So the perfect life wouldn't be something that is easy. The perfect life wouldn't be something where there are no challenges and everything is peaceful. You need some chaos in life. So, is there even a perfect objective definition or notion of a perfect life and a perfect world? Could there even be one? Especially if you talk about the world that we live in. I don't know what else is possible in this creation, because God is impressive, God is massive, His creation is massive. So there is a lot that can go on. But we just do not know what else is possible. We just do not know if a world is possible where people can just have fun and be happy. Can you really be happy by just having fun without challenges and without fighting against something? If there is no natural drama in life, people start creating drama. And this is what I wanted to talk about. If in your life there are some challenges and hardships that are bothering you, would you really be happy if you had no challenges and no hardships at all? What would you be overcoming in your life? And somehow this state of overcoming makes you feel strong. If you overcome it, it makes you feel strong. If you're feeling weak, you're always miserable and you're asking for easy things. Are you really happy when you're asking for easy things from life? When you just get a break, how long do you want the break for? Do you want it for forever? Or do you want a break until you're ready to fight with challenges again, but life never goes your way? Perhaps just accept it and move on. Perhaps just accept and start dealing with the challenges, knowing that you cannot really have a life without problems. Imagine a world without sadness. Do you want people to be happy when something happens to you? You know, in this world that we live in, suffering is somehow as much as important as much as happiness. And this thing is like the concept of yin yang. I haven't studied it, so I can't really talk about it, but I can talk about poles at least. That that because light exists, that's how you can define darkness, because of the existence of light. Because the small exists, that's how you can define the large, because the small exist. Without the existence of the one, you cannot define the existence of the other. You can't even distinguish it. They both exist because the other exists. You can recognize their existence, you can name it because the other exists. So happiness and suffering are sort of like that too. You can distinguish happiness from suffering because suffering exists. If none of these exist, there was only one state of living, then how do you distinguish things from each other? So perhaps we have to come in terms with the fact that we do not really want a life without challenges and hardships. We do want some challenges and hardships because overcoming them is what makes us feel worthy, is what makes us feel valuable. And somehow, if there are no problems in life, we end up feeling bored with all the good things we have. We get used to things now. So, can you really define a notion of a perfect life? And would it really be perfect? Would it actually make you happy for forever? So, change is important. It is important. And let's face the reality instead of constructing a reality that does not exist. The reality is that we want change, that we want change, that we want some problems and challenges to handle. It makes us feel valuable. And so we can accept the reality and stop complaining about the things that are not really, and stop complaining about the reality and dreaming about the scenarios that cannot really exist and we know do not exist. Maybe this will help you grow in life and push harder. And I hope this is something that made you think about, you know, hold this notion of perfect life and what would the perfect life look like and accept your reality as it is today.